Andy Dalton is quite the polarizing guy over here in Cincinnati. Some love him, some hate him. Personally, I've always, I guess I would say, had faith in him. And with good protection and you put good players around him, I've always felt like he's got a chance to be a really good quarterback in this league. I guess if I were to say one thing about Dalton, I've always had this sense that the Bengals, they groomed him to always throw the ball to Andy Green. You remember when they first came up, they just throw it to Andy, or throw it to AJ, throw it to AJ, throw it to AJ, he'll catch it, he'll catch it, he'll catch it, and they kind of groomed him per se into that type of quarterback. And now we've seen over the last couple of seasons exactly what happens when AJ Green's not on the field. It's a completely different offense. That being said though, Dalton has made playoffs 5 consecutive seasons before. Whether you want to pin those losses on him or you want to pin them on Marvin Lewis, I mean, go whichever direction you want there. I can still remember how the Bengals looked in that playoff game before Carson went down, a Marvin Lewis coach team. Nonetheless, 5 seasons in a row now, Andy Dalton has been under 15 interceptions, but he hasn't thrown for more than 25 TDs since 2014. His completion percentage on his career, 62%. But if you take away last season, Dalton's never had a season where he's recorded over 10 losses in a season as a quarterback. As many of us can expect, there's been a lot of good things you can look at back in Dalton's career, and at the same time, you can point back and say, well, he's done this wrong, he's kind of messed up here, he's kind of messed up there. There's some bad things, right? There's reasons for a team to say, hey, we don't want to pick him up or we don't want to pay this much, and there's reasons for a team to say, hey, he's actually worth trying to pick up and building around here. There's a couple of things that kind of fall into place here as far as finding a trading partner. One of those is going to be finding a team that thinks they can put a system around Andy Dalton that makes him flourish and play really well and excel. And immediately, I think of the Patriots. I've joked about it in the past, saying Dalton goes to the Patriots, he wins the Super Bowl. Maybe that's a little far-fetched, but the thought of Andy Dalton going to the Patriots and making playoffs, maybe even making a playoff run, is not far-fetched to me. There is nobody, in my opinion, better in this game right now, football, than Bill Belichick at taking average players or good players and finding what they're very, very good at and using that on the field and helping them excel in the game, and seeing, again, Bill Belichick, maybe they don't have that star-studded wide receiver core you think about Andy Dalton that would make him play better, but I think Bill's got the coaching ability to go out there and help Andy Dalton excel in the areas that he does need to win football games. Now the Buccaneers, that could be a team that works as well. You talk about a team that was 7-9 last season, and you wonder if Jameis Winston doesn't throw enough interceptions for everybody in the league times 20, maybe they made playoffs last season. And you talk about a guy like Andy Dalton, where's a good place to put him? In Tampa Bay. They got really good wide receivers out there, guys he could flourish with, and he's a little bit, or a lot more, I guess, careful with the football than Jameis Winston is. So maybe a team like the Buccaneers says, hey, you know what, we can win right now. We pick up Andy Dalton, it'll help this team. And then you look at the Bears, you hear a lot of talk about the Bears. The Bears are a tough one to me because you talk about them saying pretty much that they are decommitting to Mitchell Trubisky if they were to go out and get Andy Dalton. Even if it was for 1 year, it's kind of a shot to Trubisky. Maybe 1 year's off for him is good though, and he comes back and plays better. But overall, the demand for Dalton to me is what concerns me the most here, because you really, besides the fact that you have to find a system and the talent around it that's going to help him, I think you also have to have it be a team that says, hey, we think we can win right now. We're a quarterback short. Not a, hey, we can draft a quarterback in a couple years, be really good, but a team that's got a very good team around it, and they're saying we need a quarterback right now. We're not going to get a Joe Burrow in the draft, and we're not going to wait to develop it. We don't want to wait 2 or 3 years and see how it turns out. We feel like we have a team around us right now that can contend for a Super Bowl. If we pick up a quarterback, that might be a team that goes after Andy Dalton. But overall, still with Dalton, I think if you're very, very optimistic about it, I mean, you could always throw the case out there for a second, probably more likely a 3rd round draft pick, but that would be if everything fell into place perfectly. And that does not seem to be the case here with Andy Dalton, obviously, because you look at the fact that every team knows Joe Burrow is the future of this franchise, and every team knows Andy Dalton is on the trade block, and every team now knows as well that Andy Dalton is selecting the team that he essentially wants to play for. He's been, they've already talked about it with Mike Brown, that they're willing to work with Andy on this one. So the leverage for the Bengals is all but completely gone as far as I'm concerned here. It's just going to come down to a team that's interested in, and if there's multiple teams interested that he would actually want to play for, that would make the bidding go up at all. I think you look at Joe Flacco here. It's crazy when you look at Joe Flacco and Andy Dalton, when you look at what they actually did from a career standpoint, other than the fact that Joe Flacco actually won playoff games. Both of them started their careers with 5 straight playoff appearances. Both of them, they get to that end of their contract. They got that next man up kind of thing here, and everybody knows about it. And Joe Flacco went for a 4th round draft pick to the Broncos just last year when everyone knew that Lamar Jackson was going to be the future of the franchise. So I think you're probably going to look in that area if you're Andy Dalton. You're going to look in that 4th. Maybe, if they're lucky, a 4th and a 6th would be fantastic. 4th and a 7th, whatever it is, if they could add on to that, that'd be great. It really does come down to a comparison of, do teams think that, Andy Dalton can provide more than what somebody like Joe Flacco would have just provided when they, sent him away just the season prior? Did the Ravens or not? And I think you're looking in that 4th round draft pick range, which still isn't terrible. I think you could find something in the draft there if you're the Bengals. But overall, I just want to see it get done before the draft, because if the Bengals can use these picks this year to improve the team, I think it'd be a very big help for Joe Burrow, be a very big help for that defense, whatever direction they choose to go there. And I wish nothing more than the best of luck to Andy Dalton to wherever he does end up if the Bengals do select to trade him this year.